Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to Pause for Orchids. My name is Luisa and I love orchids. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your support. If you're new to my channel, I'm so glad you've joined us. Today, we're going to try to understand very particular behaviors our orchids may display from time to time. We'll explore some reasons why orchids sometimes push out new roots or growths in the wrong season. The first time I saw this happen in my collection, I went and did a little research. It turns out there's a list of reasons, so let me give those to you and a brief explanation of each. With that information, then you can assess which of these may be the cause of the issue in your collection and address it if you feel it's necessary. Environmental stress or disruption is the first reason. Orchids are sensitive to changes in their environment. Sudden temperature fluctuations, either too hot or too cold, can stress the plant out, causing it to push out new roots or growths in the wrong time of year. Next, inconsistent light conditions. Orchids typically respond to changes in light levels, as this signals the change in seasons. If your orchid isn't getting the right amount of light, it might not know it's the wrong season to grow and push out new growth. Third, watering habits. Over or under watering can confuse orchids and prompt them to push out roots or new growths in the wrong season. Root growth is often a response to stress from water levels or improper humidity. Next, fertilization. Excessive fertilization or high nitrogen levels in the media can stimulate new growth. Orchids require a balanced seasonal feeding schedule, and too much fertilizer can encourage growth at the wrong time. Next up, repotting or moving. Repotting or moving an orchid to a new location can disturb its natural growth cycle, leading to new root or growth spurts, even if it's not the right season. Orchids often respond to the shock of repotting by trying to establish new roots. Genetics and hybridization. Some orchids, especially hybrids, may have altered growth cycles due to their genetic makeup. These plants might push out new growths during non-traditional seasons due to hybrid vigor or inherited traits from different species. I'll be right back after this short paw break. Next on the list, root-bound conditions. If an orchid has outgrown its pot and become root-bound, it may try to push out new roots or growths in response to its crowded environment. This can happen even when it's not the right season for their growth. Improper humidity. Orchids need specific humidity levels for optimal growth. If the humidity is too low or too high, it can trigger stress responses, causing the plant to initiate growth spurts out of sync with the season. Finally, inadequate resting periods. Some orchids often require a resting period to recuperate before they begin a new growth cycle. If this period is not respected, they may try to grow roots or new growths prematurely, confusing the natural seasonal rhythm. So there you have it, my list of why sometimes our orchids behave so strangely and grow roots and growths out of their typical season. These factors can all contribute to an orchid's decision to put out new roots and growths at the wrong time. Keep in mind that all of the things on this list will impact the plant's overall health and development. To prevent orchids from pushing out new roots and growths during the wrong season, it's important to maintain optimal growing conditions that align with their natural growth cycles. To accomplish this, make sure you regulate temperature consistently. Adjust lighting to simulate seasonal changes, control watering and humidity, properly fertilize on a schedule, ensure a proper rest period, repot only when necessary, increase air circulation, monitor for pests and disease, control pot size, and create a controlled climate. By implementing these things, you can help ensure that your orchids grow in sync with the natural seasons, leading to healthier plants and more beautiful blooms. Alright, we're going to check on the experiment tree to see how the experiment is coming after the last couple nights that we've had a really cold weather. All things considered, looks like we're doing okay. This is a Mimi Palmer. This was my first Mimi Palmer, but she was showing signs of maybe a virus or something, so I put her out here, and she's giving me a cakey, and I think something's trying to push out there, but don't know quite yet, so we shall see. Let's see if this has anything. No, I don't think this one's doing anything right now. And I don't remember which one this is, but she too was in dire straits, and her new growth up here is a lot healthier. So I think she likes it out here. Let's see if there's anything going on. Oh, look, there's a spike. Yay! There's a spike. She's the one that's been out here the longest. See her roots going all the way up the oak. Yay, there's a spike. And then I have this dendrobium. They don't tend to be lovers of the cold, but have a growth. We'll see what happens with that next spring. We shall see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you know when I post something new. In the meantime, let's grow together and don't be a stranger. Bye.